Hey there guys, Erin here again, and I thought I'd sit down with you and kind of go over my top 5 tips for as you transition into keto. So if you're unfamiliar with my channel, my name is Erin and I am somebody who's on a keto journey. I am trying to obtain my optimal health through keto. And I started the journey at the beginning of this year. There's various videos, I'll link them below, where I've kind of gone over it and what kind of keto I'm doing, but I figured I'd sit down today and do my top 5 tips. So my number 1 tip would be, or my first tip I guess, would be to measure yourself from your ankles to your neck. That is where you're going to be seeing the changes. Trust me, here's 2 pictures of me, that's 7 pounds. That's only 7 pounds. But that's a huge change from one picture to the other. And yeah, the scale, it's a great tool. Take your weight at the beginning just so you know what your starting weight was, but don't live and die by it, because the scale is just going to measure, you know, what you weigh. It's not going to measure how your body is composed. Your tape measure will. I also recommend, and it can be kind of painful, especially if you end up putting them on the internet, taking before and after pictures of yourself, or pictures of yourself during the process. That way you can see visually what that change looks like. We can kind of remember, you know, what we looked like in different times, but seeing it is believing it, and that is what's going to motivate you. So measure yourself, take pictures, go ahead and weigh yourself at the beginning, but don't live and die by that number, because more often than not, you'll see people who are on keto and the thing that they will be expressing that they are seeing the results in is in the way their body is composed and the way their clothes are fitting different, not so much the number on the scale. My other piece of advice is to start slow. You don't need to be like the most intense keto person on day 1. What I mean by that is maybe take a week, maybe 2 weeks to slowly transition into keto. That's what I did. I've tracked my macros beforehand, and I knew kind of what the protein, carb, fat amounts that I was eating and what I would need to do to change them to be within the keto limits. And I slowly did that over about a week, and I feel like that helped me transition into keto a lot faster, and it helped me not have such a bad keto flu. It also helps with my digestion, because one of the things that you'll hear people say when they talk about going on a keto diet is that you either get horribly blocked up or you become an internal slip and slide. And you know what? That's usually because of the amount of fat that you're taking in versus how you're decreasing your carbs. So you want to be mindful of the carbs that you're eating, that they have a good amount of fiber, and that, you know, as you increase your fat, that you're not doing it too dramatically, because you'll literally just become a greasy thing, and things will just come through you. So I don't know how to explain that in a better way, but like literally just, you know, slowly decreasing, slowly increasing. It gives your body time to catch up, and that's, I think, the goal with, you know, kind of just taking a slow transition, is to give it time, ease your mind, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so my my third piece of advice now would be to be mindful of the amount of alcohol you're consuming. You can literally type in keto and alcohol, and you will hear tons of advice about how there's low carb beer options, low carb wine options, and you can do hard alcohol because most of them don't have carbs or very many carbs. And so why not? You can totally drink, but you have to be super mindful, because alcohol will affect your body differently when you're on a keto diet than if you're on a traditional higher carb diet. And that's because you're burning things differently, and you don't have the carbs in your body to kind of soak up all that alcohol, and it really truly affects you differently. I remember before going keto, I was totally able to drink a glass of wine with dinner and then another one in the evening. Wake up the next morning, no problem. If I did that now, I would be, you know, it'd be like I was 21 and I went to the bar for the first time and I got super hungover. It's something that I think you should be really mindful of, and it's not something that people really talk about a lot. And I think if they did, people would know, you know, just kind of how to incorporate alcohol into their, you know, keto life better. So my 4th piece of advice would be to not go crazy on the working out right away. If you are overweight right now and you're using keto as a means to lose weight, give yourself, and I'm giving you the pass, this random girl on the internet is giving you the pass to wait maybe 4 to 6 weeks, or until you feel like you've got your energy levels back, to start working out. It's just hard. Your body's adapting to being run on fats more versus carbs, and it's going through a process, it's going through a change, it's going into ketosis, and, you know, just give it a little rest. Going into a keto diet, you know, you will have lower energy, your body's changing the way it's fueling itself, the way it's processing, and you just need to give it time to make that change. And so you'll know when you've gone through that change and when your energy levels are high again, and when you can start incorporating working out into it again. But for the time being, I would totally be kind of low-key on the workout. If you really are gung-ho and you want to do it, go ahead and walk, maybe do some lower impact body work. But really, I would just take that time to just adapt and to get into ketosis and kind of see how your body's going to be in that state. And then once you get in that state, then, you know, adding working out would be a good idea. I waited and I just did, you know, in the first couple of weeks, I just did walking, and that was it. I didn't really even do any like body work. I waited until I got my energy levels back, and I got past the hungry phase because I didn't want to be burning more calories while feeling hungry. So I just got kind of past those kind of first initial keto phases, and then I started incorporating working out, and it's worked well for me. So my last piece of advice is to buy the keto pea sticks. Some people would say, don't buy them, they're a waste of money, they don't tell you anything. And I would sit there and kind of say, yeah, they do. They tell me that prior to this, I had no ketones in my pee-pee, and now I've got ketones in my pee-pee. And like, that is a good sign to me that, you know, I'm in ketosis, I'm moving forward with it, and I'm, you know, doing all the things I need to in order to be a keto diet. And, you know, really that's all you can ask for from something that costs $10. I kind of see them as confidence building sticks. So yes, I would totally recommend getting them and using them. Don't really use the gauge of like if it's lighter or darker as a sign that you're more deeply in ketosis. That doesn't really mean anything. Use it more as a gauge that, you know, you are making ketones, and so you are doing the right thing. So yeah, these are my 5 tips, and these are the 5 things that I've kind of learned during that initial period of going on a keto diet, and these are things that worked for me and kind of were a benefit. So if you guys like this video, please go ahead and like it, and if you want to see more videos from me, go ahead and subscribe, because I do try to put out videos regularly. Until next time, take care guys, see ya.